Hello, I'd like to call the San Carlos Planning Commission for February 6, 2017 to order. If you'd stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Bradley.
Here.
Commissioner Gutierrez.
Present.
Commissioner Harper-Patterson.
Here.
Vice Chair Silberman.
Present.
And Chair Bergman.
Present. Okay, next thing on the agenda is public comment. Public comment is limited to items not on the agenda. The Commission may briefly respond to statements made or questions posed as allowed by the Brown Act. However, the Commission's general policy is to refer items to staff for attention or to have a matter placed on a future Commission agenda for a more comprehensive action or report. Is there anyone here for items that aren't on the agenda? No, okay. Seeing none, we'll move to the approval of the minutes. Any changes to the minutes for January 17th?
I didn't have any. I didn't see any changes.
I didn't have any changes.
I'll attend a motion.
Move approval?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bradley.
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez.
Yes.
Commissioner Harper-Patterson.
Yes.
Vice Chair Silberman.
Yes.
Chair Bergman.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is the public hearing. So the procedure for the public hearing are that the staff will present a report on the history, physical features, etc. on the application, followed with the staff's recommendation. The applicant will make a presentation. Thereafter, interested members of the community may speak on the proposal. When all interested parties have had an opportunity to be heard, the hearing will be closed and no further discussion from the floor can be held. The Commission will then consider the evidence and make its recommendation. If you challenge a public hearing item in court, you may be limited to raising only those issues you or someone else raised at the public hearing described in this notice, the public notice, or in written correspondence delivered to the city at or prior to the public hearing. Speakers should fill out a speaker form found by the door and hand it to the recording secretary prior to addressing the commission. The speaker should come up to the microphone and speak since the meeting is being recorded. This will assist staff in preparing their minutes. So the first item on the agenda is 75 and 125 Shoreway Road, APN 046-081-280. Consideration of a sign program. And does staff have a presentation?
Good evening. My name is Jill Lewis, and I will present to you consideration of master sign program for 75 and 125 Shoreway Road. So this is the location of the site. It's just east of Highway 101 at the northern end of San Carlos. It is a flat 5.5 acre site. The zoning is PD, planned development, subject to the provisions of Ordinance 968. It was rezoned from heavy industrial in November of 1986, and there are two existing structures on site. So this is the site plan. It gives you kind of a feeling for all the signage that's on site, and I'll go through each of the campus signs and the tenant signs. So the campus sign types, there are four building address identification, 2 monument signs, and 2 pedestrian wayfinding signs. So the 4 address signs are sign A, typical brushed aluminum, giving the address of the building. So there's 2 on 75, 2 on 125. Sign B, the 2 monument signs, gives you an idea of the overall height of the signs. It is about 6 feet in height. The maximum height would be 7. So, and then C, 2 pedestrian wayfinding signs. At the top, you can see or in the middle, you can see the guy, just for proportion's sake. And those will be located at the sort of front end of each building, or front end of 75, back rear of 125. So for the tenant signs, there's major and minor. D, which is major, which is 3, a maximum of 35 square feet each. So it can have any configuration it wants, but each maximum signage could be only 35 square feet. E, minor, there's 7 minor tenants, and those have a 15 square foot max each, and again, can be any configuration. Sign F would be the sign panels on the 2 monument signs, and 15 square feet for all tenants combined. So the project finishes, as you can see, are stainless steel brushed finish, cedar wood on the monument bases, and medium gray satin finish for the primary facade. No temporary signage is permitted on site. The designs of the future tenant buildings designs would require separate sign permits from subject to the community development director approval. So no comments, written or otherwise, were received by staff. This is the formal motion should you choose to make it. I'm available for any questions you have of staff, and the applicant is also here to answer any questions you have for him.
Any questions for staff?
Just one. These are really small signs, so I imagine they wouldn't be visible from the freeway? None of them looked like they were freeway or anything?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
correct.
Just making sure. Thank you.
Anyone else? No? Don, do you have anything?
No, I visited the site, and the building architecture is very handsome, I think, and the landscaping is in, it looked like. The courtyard's very nice between the 2 buildings, and the fountain was working today in the rain. And I was delighted to see there were no signs on 101.
Okay. Any questions do you have a presentation, or are you just available for questions? Okay, and are you with him, or are you? Okay, all right. Any questions for the applicant? Okay, do we need to close the public hearing if there's no public?
Probably just as a,
Okay, okay. We do? We need to make a motion? Or no?
To close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Bradley?
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez?
Yes.
Commissioner Harper Pedersen?
Yes.
Vice Chair Silverman?
Yes.
And Chair Bergman?
Yes. Okay, discussion?
I think the materials are great. It looks like a good sign program to me.
Okay, do you have a motion?
I move that the Planning Commission approve the request for a sign program for Premia Capital at 75 and 125 Shoreway Road, APN 04681-280, applying to future tenants based on the required findings and for the reasons outlined in the staff report.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bradley?
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez?
Yes.
Commissioner Harper Pedersen?
Yes.
Vice Chair Silverman?
Yes.
Chair Bergman?
Yes. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, the next thing on the agenda is reports, correspondence, and general information. Report on recent city council actions.
Forgive me if I don't have good track of the dates, but in case the commission hadn't otherwise heard, the city council did approve to make permanent the formula business ordinance. And that's all I have in terms of city council news.
Okay. Planning commission and comments or reports?
I mean, I don't know if this is the appropriate time or whether we were going to do it on D, but we need to figure out whether we're going to have a meeting on February 21st, right?
Yes, we could do this. Now, maybe perhaps would be the appropriate time because the Planning Commission can inform staff of their attendance. So, first of all, the next upcoming meeting is on Tuesday, February the 21st. And on that meeting, I have heard from Vice Chair Silverman that you will be out that evening. And Chair Bergman is requesting to attend remotely. So if that is the case, we would need to confirm that there are 3 members here that could be here physically here at City Hall in order to make the quorum. So
I've got a conflict on the 21st.
you do?
Yeah,
You're going to be absent?
I am going to be absent.
Okay.
I think that ends it.
I think that ends it. So I'm glad we had this conversation. That ended it.
Harper Pedersen can lie and say she was going to be here,
Don and I were totally going to be here,
as can
and now
Mr.
we're
Bradley Exactly,
do it
even
our
though
Tuesday.
even though that they also would not be here. But anyway, yeah, unfortunately, I think that's it.
Okay, thank you for the update. I think that solves a whole host of things for February 21st. So we'll make adjustments for the items that would have otherwise gone on the 21st. We had 1667 San Carlos Avenue and 537 Laurel Street, which is an application for a modification to a wireless facility.
Is that going to be a problem with the timeline for the wireless facility?
I'll have to double check with staff, and I'll be doing that first thing in the morning. If that is the case, we may be reaching out to the Planning Commission for a special meeting so we can have the quorum. So I'll be looking into that. In other things related to attendance, I have, Chair Bergman also out on March 6th, so just take a look at your calendars. I want to make sure that we have a quorum for March 6th.
She was out on the 20th as well. Not that I'm everyone's social
Out
calendar.
on February 21st.
No, I thought you were out on the 6th and the 20th, weren't you, Shannon?
No, I changed, no, I'm going to be back on the 20th.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so just for March 6th. So if you look at your calendars and find that you'll be absent, or if you can RSVP that you will be here for March 6th, that would be great.
I have, but I will again. I will be here on March 6th.
Great.
I will be here on March 6th.
Okay. All right.
I will be also.
Great, good. So we have a quorum for that date. Great, thank you. And that is all that I have in terms of attendance matters.
Correspondence?
Oh, did you want to mention
Oh,
this?
yes, I do want to. I was planning on doing that under D. Staff has no correspondence to share with the commission this evening.
Okay, planning staff comments, reports, and updates of current projects.
Yes, thank you. I had passed this information out to the RDRC when we had our meeting at 5:30, but I'd also like to pass this out to the commission as well. This is probably a follow-up that you've already received via email to notify the commission that the city is now accepting applications from the citizens, from local architects, realtors, and builders who are interested in serving on a citizens ad hoc committee that will focus on development standards for the RS6 zoning district, otherwise known as the house size issue that we've been hearing about and preparing for quite some time. So all during the month of February, applications are being accepted. They can be accessed online. This flyer does a really great job of providing some basic information to the community, so please feel free to share that with your neighbors, anyone you know that may have approached you in the past about and has expressed their concerns on this issue. The city has entered into a contract with a firm from Berkeley called Opticos Design. They've done a lot of code work throughout the community and are kind of the renowned experts with form-based codes. So they have worked a lot with different jurisdictions in developing design-oriented codes for various different cities. They are going to be working with planning staff and the community and the commissions in addressing standards for RS6, but we're also looking at making perhaps some improvements or refinements to two areas in our mixed-use districts. Number one is the downtown core, the MUDC zoning district, with respect to height. We're going to be looking closely at that. The other area that we want to look more closely at is the MUN, the mixed neighborhood mixed-use district that runs all along Laurel, on one side of Laurel, but then backs up into RS6 zoning district. So we're going to be taking another look at those transitional standards. We continue to get inquiry on some redevelopment of some sites along Laurel and looking at the massing and the scale and the interaction between that mixed-use transitional area as it is adjacent to single-family zoning. So there's going to be three areas, zoning districts that we're primarily looking at. And so Opticos will be assisting staff on those areas, those 3 areas of within our zoning ordinance. Let's see. Tomorrow, we are actually staff is having a kickoff meeting with the firm, so we're going to be looking at the schedule, refining that, looking at ways in which we're going to do outreach with the community. So we'll have a more detailed plan moving forward and detailed schedule that once we get those firmed up after our meeting tomorrow, I will update the commission with regard to that, because there will be components. We're kind of taking a multi-level civic engagement approach where we're going to have the advisory committee, we'll be having workshops or open houses with the community at large, and we also want to get input from the RDRC because they're the primary body that looks at single-family homes. So the advisory committee that we are creating is just oriented to RS6. We're not creating an advisory committee for the 2 mixed-use zones, so we'll be taking a different kind of outreach approach towards that. So again, applications will be accepted all throughout the month of February, and you can access them online or pick one up at the planning counter.
So they don't want us applying for,
I think there would be a conflict of interest. But if
they
you
don't
know
want our
everyone-
input, is what you're saying, any more than we've already given, right?
But as the commission knows, any modifications to the zoning will become before you for your review.
Great, thank you very much. Anything else? Nope.
Thank you.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you for that 1-minute delay there, because I still have the record.
That you were trying to